Hello everyone, my name is Sam Clark. I'm the Education Partner Lead at Microsoft Australia. So my role basically is to help our customers get the most out of their investments within the Microsoft ecosystem via Microsoft's partner network. And basically what I'm going to talk to you today about is how to get the most out of the partner ecosystem, how to navigate it, a 101 guide to essentially how to get the best, how to choose the right partner and how to make sure they're the best one for the job. And basically some examples of how partners have made our customers successful. So partners make more possible, and I guess this is quite close to my heart. And I think in terms of the, how I've seen our customers perform in their projects, I genuinely believe that this is true. So if you spend some time in Microsoft's booth at EduTech today, you'll hear a lot of great stuff about various bits and pieces that we're doing in the education market. So, learning and teaching via OneNote and Teams, insights from data and AI, bots in school finance, parent portals in Dynamics, etc. Partners make that real. Partners have the skill and the expertise on hand to move a technology platform that Microsoft has made into a transformed service that becomes the way that you work. So rather than just a piece of technology or a product that you purchase, partners transform that into a business process. And I think that this is really key to project success. One of the key factors for technology project success in the education market is change management, is understanding the customer, and is implementing with a clear business objective in mind. And I think partners really play a key role in assisting with that. So some of our partners are even education specialists who develop education-specific products to make that business process that's derived from the technology even realer. So Microsoft is really partner orientated. We rely on partners and we work with partners and we scale via partners. And so a way that I like to think about, and I think it's quite powerful, is that a good way to think about the partner ecosystem is it's Microsoft expertise scaled. So I'll start with a quote from Gabriela Schuster, who's Microsoft's CVP for One Commercial Partner. And as a customer-first, partner-led company, we start with the needs of our customers and work with our partners to deliver the best outcome for each customer. So in order to achieve that, we've divided our partner ecosystem into really kind of 4 key parts. So the first one is advisory and consultancy. So advisory and consultancy, if you think about it in terms of like large enterprise, this is where a management consultancy firm might come in, like a KPMG, EY, etc. If you scale that down to the school level, we've got a variety of partners which basically have an advisory body and services for schools. They're often comprised of ex-teachers, and they'll go in and analyze the school's environment, talk to you about your business objectives and how you want to transform teaching and learning. And they'll basically look at your technology investments and help you work out the best technology strategy and roadmap. They often will focus on change management aspects as well. So making sure that adoption is taken up well. They'll combine training as part of this, so they'll train your teachers and your students, and make sure that when you roll out a project or you're rolling out a platform, that it's not just another technology or piece of technology in your ecosystem, but it's actually a well-used, well-integrated, well thought out, and well-utilized platform. They'll often have a learning focus as well. So many specifically focus on the K-12 market. As I said earlier, be staffed with ex-teachers and specifically designed for K-12 organizations to get the most out of their investments. The second category I'd say is independent software vendors. So this is software built on Microsoft platforms, such as Azure, Microsoft 365 and Dynamics. So we've got over 50 teaching and learning software products built on the Microsoft platforms and available in Australia. And there's a huge variety in what these are. These include everything from learning management systems, which are built on top of Teams, generally hosted on Azure as well. It could be school management systems, so the most widely utilized school management system in Australia, which is Central. That's hosted on Azure, integrated in 365, uses Dynamics for business finance. So that's kind of fully integrated to Microsoft across the board, but it's its own standalone piece of IP developed by Central, which is sold out to the market. But Microsoft still really works really closely with these kind of organizations. So they'll typically use a variety of Microsoft tools to integrate to your existing environment, such as Active Directory is really commonly used, so they can integrate with single sign-on and it can integrate to your current identity system. The next category I'll call out is cloud services partners. So Microsoft has thousands of cloud service providers who are building education-specific technologies supported by a broad partner ecosystem. So the cloud service providers are your specialists and technical experts who provide implementation, professional and managed services. And a lot of them often have a specific education focus. So their experts are actually implementing the products themselves for a classroom or a school context. So there's a lot of benefits to this. You know, let's say if we're talking about rolling out Teams as an example, rolling out Teams for a teaching and learning environment is incredibly different to rolling out Teams for an enterprise environment. So having that school and K-12 education expertise and IP and understanding the different dynamics of the classroom, the different dynamics of the staff room and the corporate office, I think is really a key success factor in a successful project. The last category we have is licensing service providers. So these licensing service providers, most of you probably have one today, they're trusted experts on Microsoft's products and commercial arrangements. So they actually provide the commercial vehicle for the consumption of Microsoft products in education. So as a general rule, Microsoft doesn't typically sell directly to our customers. There'll be a licensing arrangement in place with a partner who basically, if you're looking for a quote or you're looking to transact Microsoft licensing, you'll go via that partner. So let's pull that all together as an example. And I think Teams is a really good use case here because it can basically touch into all of these different categories. So let's say for an example that a school wanted to roll out Teams as a teaching and learning platform. So firstly, you might use an advisory partner. So we've got a great partner, just using an example, called Adopt and Embrace. Basically all that they do, they're the business dedicated to change management for Microsoft Teams. So they would go in, they would build a business case for your team. They'll review your existing work processes, design your use cases, and basically map out how Teams is going to be used in your environment and the process to get it from 0 to 5% utilization to a key tool within your school. You'd have engagement with the licensed service provider. So the licensed service provider would be providing the M365 licensing and making sure that you've got all the licensing and you know that the different licensing components that you need for the Teams experience that you're looking for and you define as part of your strategy with the advisory partner. You'd have a cloud services provider who would help you implement it from a technical perspective. They'd make sure that all the technical prerequisites are set up and that everything integrates with your existing platforms. And finally, you may be using independent software vendors who make a variety of different apps that can be integrated in Teams and enhancing the Teams experience. So for instance, you might be using something like Go1, which is basically a content repository with a bunch of analytics around the outside, which can deliver video content to your students. Or you might be looking at something like AppPoint's EduTech, which is a learning management system built on top of Teams. There's a variety of different options here. And you might not just be using 4 different partners for these different aspects. There's many examples of partners who can do more than one category. So for instance, your advisory, your licensing service provider, and your cloud service provider might all be the same organization. They're just in terms of breaking down the steps that you need to take in order to get the best out of your environment. These are the kind of separate categories that we'd look at. So, Sam's guide to choosing the right partner for your school. So Microsoft's got thousands of partners in Australia, and everywhere that you look, you'll be able to find different partners with the right credentials and the right experience to be able to get the job done for you correctly compared to what you're looking for. So a large part of my job is working with customers and helping them pick the right partner for their piece of work and for their particular strategy. And I think probably a couple of the key things that I've learned is that while whoever's got the most experience and the capability is really important, it's not the only factor that you need to look at. And I think as well is that getting the right partner for your school is one of the single most important success factors in making sure that a project is successful. So these are kind of 3 key areas that I strongly advise all of our customers to consider when they're selecting a partner. I think the first one is education experience. Particularly if you're doing anything that involves teaching and learning, education experience is critically important. Probably slightly less important if you're looking at it from a more operational side, but if there's going to be any interaction between the technology and the classroom, I think the partner having education experience, so they understand that context, goes a really long way to a successful outcome. The second one is make sure that they've got all the requisite accreditations from Microsoft. So partners can receive certifications based on their depth of capability. I think it's really important that you make sure you review your proposed suppliers' Microsoft certifications. So we've got a variety of different certifications. So the ones that you'll typically see in the education space are with partners gold certified or silver certified. I think you want to look at the key areas that you're going to be doing the work in and make sure they're gold certified in those particular areas. Having one gold certification is great, and then it gives the partner the right to call themselves a Microsoft Gold partner. But you want to make sure that gold certification is within the area of technology that you're looking to get them to implement. And last, I think, and this is one that we often, I think, gets a little bit overlooked, but I think cultural fit is really, really important. You want to make sure that the partner is a good fit for the way that you work, both from scale and an engagement perspective. So if you're a mid-sized independent school, you probably don't want to get a global systems integrator come in to do your work. That won't work for anybody. While you're a larger university, having a really small local IT company probably won't work. But it's actually, there's a lot more to it than that. Lots of companies, lots of partner organizations will lead with a engineering approach, or they might lead with a consulting-led approach, or they might start with a business conversation or a technology conversation. And depending on the way that you want to do business and the way that you want to run your projects, it's really important that you get that right mix, and that the way that the partner likes to deliver work is very much in line with the way that you like to work on projects with your suppliers. So there's a couple of tools that we've got here that I've included on the left-hand side. You can see. So we've got a partner finder. Basically, it's a pretty cool little tool actually. You can go onto that. You can basically outline the technology area that you're looking for. You can put your location in. You can put certifications in that you want the partner to have, and it'll basically generate a variety of different options for you, which is a good starting point. You can go on the app source. So basically it's Azure Marketplace. You can go on there and you can search up, you can filter by different categories, and it'll give you partner solutions. So you could filter by education partners or education solutions in Australia, and it'll give you a big list. And then you can speak to your account executive. So our account executive is very knowledgeable about partner ecosystem. The account executives are I guess, your first point of contact from Microsoft. So you can speak to them, and then they can bring myself in if we decide that's going to be the best outcome. So how can Microsoft help you with your partners? So Microsoft has a range of programs to support partner engagements with our customers to ensure you get the best outcome for your Microsoft partner. For a variety of our partners, we can provide technical support and strategic guidance to the partners, but also to yourself as part of the process. We can help you navigate the partner ecosystem and make sure you choose the partner that is right for you. Some of our partners come under certain programs which might have some Microsoft funding available. This is generally going to be in the larger, the larger projects, which can help you accelerate adoption of Microsoft products in your institution. So I think when you're working through partnering decisions, I'd always highly recommend speaking to your account executive. Your account executive is knowledgeable. They'll have worked with hundreds of different schools, and they can help you make the right decision for you, or help you at least navigate some of the challenges that you might have, and make sure you make a decision which is, as optimized for you as possible and is as informed as possible. They can also work with you on what are other schools doing. So what partners have been successful in other schools, and what are they doing right and what are they doing wrong? And then you can take those lessons and apply that to yourself. So thank you, everyone. I hope this has been a useful talk. If you've got any questions or would like to discuss your partner ecosystem further, please reach out to me. I believe my email address will be attached in the contact details for this presentation. So yeah, I hope you enjoy the rest of EduTech, and it's a really valuable experience. And I'll sign off now. Thank you.